Question. What is your understanding of the process of how it's supposed to be when someone makes an application for to the Office of Wage?
The very first thing that should happen is just an intake, which is a gathering of the information about the employee and the employer, where the work was performed, the promised hourly wages, what was paid, what hadn't been received. And at that point is the point where an investigator at that office who's conducting the intake should realize that any work done, especially at a D.C. public school, is subject not only to the Living Wage Act that we already have in D.C., but also subject to prevailing wages under the Davis-Bacon Act. So that's the very first point where Mr. Hernandez had a problem, and where we hope there is improvement, or at least no repeat of this type of problem where the proper wages aren't calculated at the onset. From that point, from what we know about how the Office of Wage and Hour functions, after that there is a fact-finding conference with the employer and the employee, which is sort of an informal mediation. Apparently in this instance, one of the employers, one of the owners of the company, the wife of Mr. Rodriguez, showed up and promised to pay, but nothing happened. Nothing was written, nothing was signed. There was no formal promise or contract to pay at that point. We see that could be an area for improvement. And then from there, no further investigation really was done by the office. Everything was done by Mr. Hernandez himself. So we at least hope that there is some sort of improvement where the office is utilizing their power to communicate with other agencies such as the police to find out more about employers. I know that Mr. Hernandez's situation did have some unique aspects to it, but overall, we'd like to see, at least at the beginning, the proper wages being identified, the misclassification being identified, and then investigation to the best of the office's ability from that point.
Thank you very much. And again, just so we're clear, his case has still not been resolved as of yet, right?
No. Another issue that we've seen with cases that go to the Office of Wage and Hour is that they are sometimes then transferred to the Attorney General's office, and at that point, we're not sure what's happening. The worker doesn't really get any more communication about what's going on with their case, and that hopefully is something that can be improved in the future, at least just some formal communication about what's going to happen with their case.